Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is quite literally changing how we buy, sell, and even just perceive physical space. We're talking about the business value of 3D real estate visualization. We're going to explore exactly how modern developers are taking flat, honestly, kind of lifeless blueprints and transforming them into these highly immersive buyer experiences. I mean, they're driving multi-million-dollar sales before a single brick is even laid. It's fascinating.
So I want you to seriously ask yourself, would you buy a home based only on a paper sketch? Try to put yourself in the shoes of a prospective buyer for a second. You're making what's probably the largest, most stressful financial investment of your entire life. And someone hands you a black and white grid. It's got a few lines, some weird symbols, a list of measurements. It takes a massive amount of cognitive effort to decode a flat floor plan. You've got to mentally construct the walls, try to imagine the natural light, guess the volume of the room, and figure out if your couch is even going to fit. For real estate developers and sales agents, this mental friction is a massive business bottleneck. Because when buyers are confused or uncertain, or they just have to work way too hard to visualize the final product, they hesitate. And hesitation absolutely kills deals.
Okay, let's dive into this and define what we're actually dealing with. At its core, 3D visualization for real estate is basically a translation mechanism. It's the process of creating computer-generated representations of residential, commercial, or infrastructure projects. But what it's really doing is taking complex, kind of inaccessible architectural language and translating it into a direct human experience. By using advanced computer generation, the real estate industry completely bypasses that mental friction we were just talking about. It gives the human brain exactly what it craves, a perfectly clear visual understanding of a space.
Now, to create these incredibly lifelike computer representations, you need some highly precise raw ingredients. High-quality 3D visualization isn't just, an artist making things up. It's deeply rooted in absolute precise data. It requires synthesizing the cold, hard math and geometry of architectural drawings and floor plans with meticulous design specifications and material references. We're talking down to the exact wood grain of the floorboards or the specific veining of a marble countertop. It's the careful synthesis of these distinct data points that allows the software to generate an accurate, mathematically sound, and most importantly, buildable reality.
So, what do all those raw data inputs actually turn into? Well, moving from static to immersive, this whole visual asset arsenal falls into three distinct phases: static imagery, motion and animation, and total immersion. Let's quickly break down the psychological and business purpose of each one. First step, static imagery. And listen, we aren't just looking at pretty pictures here. These are highly engineered first impressions. A photorealistic exterior rendering acts like your ultimate digital billboard, while an aerial master plan view successfully sells the broader neighborhood and community layout. You can even showcase the lifestyle by using day and night building visualizations. That shows a buyer not just the concrete structure, but what their home looks like glowing warmly in the evening after a long day. These assets provide immediate, beautiful snapshots that grab a buyer's attention in what is a very crowded market. Let's move on and see how this builds by bringing in the critical element of time through motion and animation. Think about the strategic business value here for a second. A residential or commercial walkthrough animation actually dictates the pacing. It shows the buyer exactly how spaces connect, how a kitchen flows naturally right into a dining area, and how the light moves through a hallway. And for developers, construction phase simulations built incredible investor confidence by showing exactly how a complex project is going to sequentially rise from the ground up over time. It's dynamic and it holds a prospective buyer's attention significantly longer than a static image ever could. All right, now we reach the absolute pinnacle of this visual arsenal: total immersion. Through virtual property tours, interactive 360-degree experiences, and fully virtual reality property experiences, the business value of these visuals just absolutely skyrockets. Actually, scratch that. We're no longer just showing a buyer a picture or a video on a screen. This immersive tech completely transports them into the physical reality of the future space. With VR, a buyer can strap on a headset, stand in their future living room, look up at the actual ceiling height, and intuitively feel the scale of the room. It creates this incredibly powerful sense of ownership before the property even exists in the real world. Once you feel like you've actually stood inside a home, saying no to buying it becomes significantly harder. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive evolutionary leap the real estate industry has taken. Traditional sketches give you, basic arrangement and boundaries, but high-quality 3D rendering? It adds realistic materials, lighting, furniture, landscaping, and environmental details to the whole equation. The difference is just stark. It's literally the difference between looking at a map of a territory and actually standing in the territory itself. By adding the exact lighting conditions of a Tuesday afternoon or the realistic environmental details of the surrounding neighborhood, you completely eliminate the buyer's guesswork. In business, guesswork kills deals, visual clarity closes them.
So the absolutely crucial point here is captured perfectly in this idea. 3D visualization helps buyers see what the property is expected to look and feel like, not just how it's arranged on paper. This right here is the ultimate bottom line business value we've been tracking toward this whole time. People don't buy arrangements. They don't buy drywall, pipes, and raw square footage. People buy an emotional look and feel. They're buying the vision of their future life, their future family, or their future business in that specific space. 3D visualization takes highly technical data and translates it into that exact emotional feeling, which drives buyer confidence, accelerates pre-sales, and ultimately maximizes the return on investment for developers.
Which brings us to a pretty provocative question to leave you with at the end of our explainer today. How will immersive 3D technology continue to change the future of property sales? Really think about it. If we've already rapidly moved from flat paper sketches to total virtual reality walkthroughs, what happens when these virtual environments become the absolute primary way we experience real estate before it even physically exists? The business value of visuals is only going to compound from here. I want you to keep this incredible technological progression in mind the next time you see a coming soon sign on a new building development. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.